So what's going to be happening this week astrologically? Because whatever is happening will be crucial to the build-up of the partial full moon eclipse that's happening next Saturday. So not tomorrow Saturday, but the following Saturday. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's have a look at the charts. And there are some main aspects that will be happening this week, including the beginning of Scorpio season, obviously, because the full moon will be happening in Taurus. So the sun will be in Scorpio. So we have Mercury moving to Scorpio. We have Sun moving to Scorpio. And with that, I think there is a main shift of energy from Venus to Mars, which will be part of the build-up to the full moon eclipse. Now, that's a very important one, and I'm going to share my screen so we can look at the transits as we speak. That's a very important one, so you can prepare yourself and get ready for, the release of energy that the eclipse represents, the release and the sort of the transition that the eclipse represents as well. So there's something about this week that will be important to navigate. Will be important to navigate as conscious as possible, so we can invite this transition, we can invite this big change to create the life that we want to live. Remember, this is constructive astrology. I'm not talking about the doom and gloom, all the things that will go wrong and how careful we need to be, but how to navigate the energies in a creative and co-create reality with the universe, using astrology as a tool for personal growth, self-understanding, and all the beautiful things. All right, so there we are. This is Friday. And by the way, I'm Fernanda Paiva, Hitchhiking Stars. If you just found me, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome again. That's great to see you as usual. And also, before we dive into the transits, let me know in the comments, how are you feeling? What's going on? How did you feel during the new moon eclipse? How are you looking forward to the full moon? Are you dreading a little bit? What's going on in your life? Is anything that's already very clear for you in regarding the changes that are coming your way? What's going on there? I had a pretty good week, excuse me. Still catching up with work. I'm going back to tarot a lot more now. And do you guys read tarot as well? What's your relationship with the cards? I really love the imagery of the cards, and I think they're very powerful, and they have a resonance with astrology as well, which is something that I've been working on recently. So there's a very worky week, and Virgo as well, sort of like getting more into the natural rhythms of the body as well, which is something I really love. So let me know in the comments, how are you feeling? What's going on for you? Because this is meant to be a community of empowerment and support and etc. So this is why I keep asking you to talk to me, because I love to hear from you. So let's move on with the transits. And why do I have the Friday? Obviously because today is Friday the 20th, but also because today, to remind you, I did speak about that last week, but there is a grand trine in Earth. Let's get things done. Let's get going with our things. I think there's an energy here that's removing obstacles, that can help us to manifest, that can help us to create organization, to create more material things, material abundance in our lives, all of these things. So there is a very supportive energy, even though fleeting, because it's the moon that's involved in this grand trine. Nevertheless, there's a kind of an abundant energy here, and it's picking up on the trines between Virgo and Jupiter that we had as well. I think it was August or September, actually. We had Mercury trine Jupiter, we had moon trine Jupiter, but Sun trine Jupiter as well. So there are some trines here between Virgo and Taurus that was very supportive, and especially with Mercury going retrograde and forward again, there was something about an opportunity that was coming back to us. Well, I think that with Venus coming to trine Jupiter as well, it's kind of an unfoldment of that energy. Okay, so there's a kind of a backdrop of it that we're still picking up on, and that we can manifest things as something tangible that we can create in our lives right now at the moment. Okay, so I just wanted to give you the heads up, and also for you to notice what I mean about the shift of energy as well. Now, talking about the energy of the Venus being under the spotlight, shifting into Mars. Last week we had Mars shifting into Scorpio, which is its own sign, is very powerful, blah blah blah. But also we're leaving Libra season. I think this is the main thing that's happening this week, which means the ruler of the season that we're going through won't be Venus anymore. So there is that shift. So at first, Venus has been having the sort of upper hand. It's been a lot about Venus lately, the new moon in Libra, the stellium in Libra, and Venus in Virgo, sort of ruling that. Venus in mutual reception with Mercury as well. So Mercury in Libra, Venus in Virgo, you know, they were like in a kind of a pairing up together secretly. That's sort of fading this week. And by fading as well, it will give the upper hand to that Mars. So the energy will become more Marsy, less Venusy during the week. So if we move on to the days, it will be on Sunday that the Mercury will enter Scorpio. So it's like kind of a beginning, first step into the Scorpio season. You can notice as well that the sun is already at 29 Libra, so that's also about to happen. But on Sunday, we have Mercury entering Scorpio, so our mindsets are beginning to change. We're beginning to think about the depth, the deep healing, the process of death and rebirth, all the things that Scorpio really resonates with. And it's also straight away in the trine to Saturn, which is, Saturn is at 0 Pisces. So all the water planets, when we enter into the water, we're getting a trine from Saturn. So there's a sort of a supportive, stabilizing energy here with that Saturn in Pisces trine that Mercury. So thinking about the healing that we want to achieve, I think is very under the spotlight here, is very supported by the symbols as well. So on Sunday, you can think and reflect about the things that you want to let go during that full moon eclipse, the things that you're ready to move on from, what you want to relinquish from your life, let it go, move on from. What are you ready to let go, Often I keep thinking about this gesture. So open your hands and stop trying to hold on to. So with that trying to Saturn, we can achieve a bit of a mastery here. We can take responsibility for our feelings. We can become more, strive for emotional maturity here, because that's the best of the water signs and the best of that Saturn as well. Also become more serious about your spiritual practices, your witchcraft, your spells, your rituals, whatever it might be. But something with that emphasis on healing there, okay, that we can think of during Sunday. On Sunday, we also have the exact trine between Venus and Jupiter. And I think that's that supportive trine in Earth sign. It can ground us a little bit. It can help us to be in tune with our values. I think this is such an important aim to have, to know your values. Or sometimes we think our values is A, but it's actually B, C, something else. So it's really important to get acquainted with your values. So that trine is a supportive energy to do that. So that's the energy of Sunday. And then on Monday, here we have, so Monday the 23rd is the official beginning of Scorpio season. So the sun moves to Scorpio, and the sun is straight away forming a trine to Saturn in Pisces as well. So we have these bunch of trines in water signs there as well. And again, removal of obstacles, more awareness of emotions, more compassion, ideally, as well. The water signs can be about compassion, about understanding other people's feelings as well. So this can also be the energy on the build up to eclipse season as well. So something about taking responsibility for how you feel, taking responsibility for having to communicate how you feel, or for your process of healing as well. No one is going to save you. No one is going to do it for you. The work is yours. And that sort of feeling, I think, with Scorpio. But definitely there is a very strong shift here, because with the sun and Mercury, we have, rather than having a Libran stellium, we have a Scorpio stellium. And Mars is also the ruler of the North Node in Aries. So we go back to that Mars in Scorpio. So very powerful. The energy of Mars becoming very powerful this week, and Venus in Virgo ruling that South Node. So really letting go of subservience, you know, wanting to please others, you know, the South Node in Libra, wanting to serve, worrying too much about what other people think. I mean, Scorpio doesn't care about what other people think. And that North Node in Libra in Aries doesn't care about what people think as well. So there's something about action that's fueled by what you really want as well. That's not about what everybody else wants. So there's the shift there, from service oriented, from other people oriented, and equality, and worrying too much about how equal is our exchange, to actually being really raw and centered in your desires as well, knowing what your desires are. So this is the season now, is to become acquainted with your deepest desire, with your deepest self, with your deepest healing as well. Okay, so that's the main shift of energy of this week, on the build up to that full moon eclipse. So it's really becoming aware of what's important to you, going deeper into that, and knowing what you need to release during the eclipse. I think this is one of those, if there's a bit of information that you need to take with you from this video, I think that's the bit of information. So up to the build up, you're going to become more centered in what you want, your depth, your real feelings, your shadows as well, your healing process, and how you need to take action. You need to take responsibility and control of it, rather than other people, depending on other people's feedback and etc. So that's a very, very important point of this week. And here on Tuesday, the 24th, we've got a moon in Pisces. So moon is going to activate all of those trines and, you know, conjoin that Saturn as well on Tuesday. So it will be the reminiscence as another layer to these energy, okay, to these focus. And then from Tuesday, what I really want to look at, again, another fleeting conjunction. This is Wednesday, so the moon will conjoin Neptune and spirituality, dreams, etc. But it's a very fleeting energy, like I said. What is really interesting that I wanted to mention is here moon will move to Aries, and here is the conjunction between the moon and Chiron in Aries, and this is going to happen on Friday the 27th. So from today, Friday the 20th, to next week, we're going to be dealing with a lot of our own wounds and becoming aware, developing an inner eye a little bit more, looking inwards a little bit more, rather than looking out and expecting feedback. Okay, I think that's the important tone of this week. And whatever frustration comes up, look at that Mercury and Mars coming very close together. Well, try to navigate as much as you can. Write it down. You don't need to take a grand action during a full moon eclipse or during eclipse season, even if that's a reaction based in anger, a reaction based on volatile emotions, because you might regret. You know, at the time you might feel really powerful and, you know, but maybe later you regret. So I think it's really important to navigate these emotions and understand what they're trying to show you, understand what they're trying to tell you as well. What are they trying to tell us in general? So we can really navigate this. And later on, once things are a little bit more settled, we can take action and we can decide what's important to us. But even the opposition to Jupiter, I think this is a major configuration of that full moon as well, might be very strong and compelling. It might be a bit challenging not to act with these energy, but I'm giving you the heads up so you already know. And if there's something that you really care, that you don't want to throw out of the window, then hold on, hold your horses. Don't take action yet. You know, maybe do some exercise, maybe do some journaling, take creative action with this energy rather than destructive action, if that's not what's the best for you, what's the healthiest for you in that moment, okay? But the moon Chiron will be showing a deeper, another layer of our wounds just before the eclipse. That's a day before the eclipse. And this is the chart of the eclipse. I had to kind of bring it into this picture as well, so you start getting ready for it, which is the whole purpose of this video, really. And it will be happening at 5 degrees Taurus. So if you have anything at 5 degrees Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, that's going to be very big for you. That's going to be activating something big time in your personal chart, in your personal life. Remember, place this moon and the sun and the configuration in your chart. So you can find out how that plugs into your natal chart as well. What's the story there? What's happening to you? Is it about a job? Is it about a relationship? Is it about moving countries? You know, there's so many possibilities here with this full moon partial eclipse, all right? But there is definitely a sense of purging here and letting go of things, because I think that's what they share, the Taurus and the Scorpio as an axis, is the willingness to hold on to things, hold on to emotions, hold on to material possessions, to security, to, you know, whatever it is. And so it is about transforming that somehow, transforming yourself by moving on, letting go, clearing the decks, clearing the house, letting go of things that are not being used, things that don't bring you joy. That's a Marie Kondo method, who happens to be a Scorpio. So it's like really looking at what brings you joy, what doesn't bring you joy, off with that, take it away, you know, give it away, don't keep it, clear the decks, clear the energy, welcome the new in your life, make space for the new. You know, this is the main message. And next week I will be bringing a video with the full moon eclipse in the chart based on the ascendant, so you can place a little bit more in your chart and you can have more clarity around intentions, release, letting go, etc. And I will also discuss this chart further next week, next Friday, just the day before of the eclipse. All right, so I just wanted to give you an overview of the run up to these eclipse and what are the energies there for you, what's available, how to navigate, how to prepare, so you can make the most of these transition, of these changes. All right, so let me know in the comments how you're feeling. Are you resonating with the energy? Are you looking forward to it? Are you feeling a bit not so sure? Let me know in the comments, and let me know if you need any help as well with anything, understanding, interpreting something, because I'm always replying to the comments. Is really important to me, this exchange, and to feel that this isn't a real energy exchange here. You know, I'm not just speaking to a camera by myself. So that's it. I'm wishing you all a wonderful week, a wonderful weekend, and a great preparation for this big transition that we're just in between now. Okay, all the best for you all, and I will see you all next week. Bye bye now.